Hello, this is Mark Ritacco with Certified Indoor Environmental. Thank you for coming to our presentation on COVID-19 disinfecting. We hope to give you some tips and things to think about on how to work with your teams and your property managers and property management. So, things we want you guys to know. Obviously, there's a lot of information from the World Health Organization, the CDC. I want to cover a couple different things. Many of you know that obviously the coronavirus can spread through droplets, but many of you may not realize that coughing or sneezing can spread a cloud of mist that contains the coronavirus all the way up to 19 to 26 feet. So it just doesn't drop within that 6-foot range. It can spread quite a distance. So 6 foot is a good idea to start out with. We actually recommend at least 10 feet. We see people creeping in every once in a while. All of a sudden it's 6 feet, 4 feet, and then all of a sudden they're right next to you. So keep that in mind. 10 feet is probably a good limitation for you guys. Washing your hands with soap is very, very important. We get a lot of questions with people asking whether we should use an antimicrobial soap or an antibacterial soap. The reality is this is a virus, not a bacteria, so just washing with soap is very effective. The other thing down in the right-hand corner, we talk about viruses and that we want to kill the virus. Understand that viruses are not alive. So we're going to kill something that's not alive. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's the terminology that people use out there. So viruses have a membrane on them. That membrane is like a soap bubble, and if we can interrupt that membrane, then we can deactivate the virus. So soap, alcohol, very effective in disrupting that membrane and making that virus ineffective. Some things that you should consider if you have employees, make sure you're understanding the OSHA guidelines. OSHA doesn't have anything specifically for COVID-19, but there's a lot of things that apply. PPE protection, employment and place of employment needs to be free of recognized hazards that are causing or likely to cause death or serious physical harm. Obviously, COVID fits into that category. So make sure you're protecting your employees so you don't run into a workers' comp claim. Safety first is always going to be most important. One of the things that you can do to be the most safe is obviously have a full face respirator. Full face respirators with the Tyvek suits are the most important things to have if you're going into a situation where you have suspect coronavirus or a confirmed case of coronavirus. So those are the type of PPEs you need. You see a lot of pictures on the TV with nurses, doctors, and they have all this bruising around their nose and their face. A lot of that has to do with they're wearing these N95 masks. These N95 masks, they're trying to wear them so tight so it has a tight seal. The coronavirus is microscopic. It is very, very small. It doesn't matter how tight you have those N95 respirators, the coronavirus can get through the leakage in those filters. So that's why you see a lot of bruising. They're just trying to get it as tight as possible. There is a shortage right now of latex gloves. A lot of people are using the PVC gloves. Again, just wash those with soap and water, use a disinfectant, and you can reuse those. So those are effective. Right now, the average is about 72 hours that the COVID virus is on surfaces. So just be aware that prior to 72 hours, just treat everything that you encounter as having COVID-19 on it or the coronavirus on it. So be aware of that. Some pain points that we see a lot with the maintenance and tenants, a lot to do with tenant turnovers. You know, what's my policy going to be if for my technicians out there? Am I going to allow them to go into a unit within 24 hours? Or am I going to make them wait that 72 hours so I can reduce the exposure to the coronavirus? What's my policy going to be? Do they have the proper PPE to go in there and do a turnover, or do they need to hire a third party? So those are things to keep in mind. Gyms, pools, entertainment rooms, most of these are already closed until a certain time, but what are going to be the steps when it's time to reopen those? How are we going to disinfect those? How are we going to safely do that? Laundry rooms. What's our policy for disinfecting on a daily basis the laundry rooms? Are we doing it correctly? So how do we address those issues? Unit turnovers, obviously, if you're trying to show it, virtual tours are the best. But if you're not able to do a virtual tour, we do have some worksheets that you can use. These are on our website. Feel free to go to our website and use some of these worksheets. We also have some other worksheets in here that you can attach your logo to. You can adjust them a little bit, but it kind of gives some guidelines to provide surfaces, also just some steps for safe distances. We're still doing inspection for property management. We're showing up in all of those in full PPE so that we can make sure that not only the tenant is safe, but also our technicians and our inspectors are safe also. So those are things that are important. You can get that on our website. Here's another one. You want to be proactive. There's a lot of issues that are happening right at the moment. The lack of toilet paper, people are using other things. So you might have a flush policy. You may also try to anticipate that you may have problems with mold issues in the future because of so many tenants, people showering, so many people in the home, they're not opening up their windows. So understand that may be an issue coming up down the road. Now, most importantly, how do we clean and disinfect? I think everyone should probably raise their game, bring it up to the standard that we clean and disinfect hospitals. We want to clean first. And what this means is we want to clean surfaces and remove the biofilm so we have a nice clean surfaces before we apply the disinfectant. If we're not cleaning that surface, we're leaving behind a biofilm, and disinfectants just aren't as effective without a thorough cleaning. So clean first, then do a swab test. Make sure that surface is clean to the industry standard that hospitals have. It's a very inexpensive test, can be done on the spot, and that way, when we do apply the disinfectant to kill the coronavirus, we know that it is a safe method and we've done the best that we can to sanitize that property. So our process, this is a pet hospital we did, we're going to clean the surface, then we're going to test the surface, and then we're going to apply a disinfectant. We also are going to fog that structure, make sure that disinfectant is getting on all the surfaces, and most disinfectants have what we call a dwell time, meaning that they need to sit on there for anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes in order to be effective according to the manufacturers. And then lastly, we're going to test, make sure that we did our job correctly. Now this test doesn't test to see if the coronavirus is there, it's just a test to see if that surface is clean to industry standards. We have 3 different disinfecting packages that we offer. We have a deluxe, which means we're going to clean, we're going to disinfect and fog, and then we're going to test, and then we'll come back after 90 days and refog again. We have a premium package, which is just doing our 3 points, and then finally just a basic one. A lot of people can do the cleaning portion, but they might want us to come in and fog the structure with a disinfectant. All our technicians are fully trained. We do a lot of this work. We want to make sure that everybody's safe, so we're available. We're also giving back to the community. So if you have a nonprofit that you know that may need some disinfecting done, have them call us up. We'll work with them to get them squared away. Thank you very much for being part of this presentation. We look forward to helping you. If you've got questions, give us a follow-up call. Thank you.